Today we're going to be doing a teammate Reindog tier list. These are going to be the characters that you best want to be playing with Reindog, whether you be playing as Reindog and you want to know who's the best teammate that you can possibly have, or when your teammate is playing Reindog and you're thinking of what's the best character I can play with my teammate who is playing Reindog. Just to start off, you're probably going to be best off playing most bruisers, Iron Giant, or anything that can defend you excessively. I've actually played with Garnet, and I think Garnet does really well. Oh man, I don't want to put her in a S tier. I would say Garnet's kind of an A tier. And other characters, Wonder Woman actually does really well, but she'll probably be an A tier. I'm going to say that for now. Those are going to be the general top also. Actually, Finn would probably be better. So this is currently right now. Think about this in the sense of these are going to probably be the best characters to play. With Reindog, it's going to be Superman, Iron Giant, Finn, Garnet, and Wonder Woman. The reason for that is that these characters are very independent and can deal with two opponents at the same time. Reindog, as a teammate, generally wants to be playing away from you. Very ranged character. One of the most ranged characters probably in the whole game because his neutral attack is a ranged ability. And with the laser, you're going to be able to simply be doing damage. And if your teammate's ever in danger as Reindog, you can pull them in and you can always be in a better situation. We also want to think about what characters can fend for themselves alone. So we naturally want to incorporate a lot of bruisers here, or a lot of characters that will play separately from you or will play from a ranged concept of you. And I'm actually going to put Bugs Bunny here. Shaggy also does really well. Taz does really well. Arya does really well, and I would say Velma and Steven Universe, the combo with Reindog is still pretty bad. You're not going to be killing anyone until 150 damage. Do be aware, unless Steven Universe is hard carrying or you're getting massive spikes with Reindog when you're playing with Velma, it's going to be incredibly difficult, so be aware. Very difficult, and it's very not worth playing. You're better off just saying, like, you know what, I'm just going to play someone else. So not recommended. If you're going to play it, you're going to have to experience and get really good with it. So Lebron James, I haven't played a lot with Lebron James because he does have a ranged projectile that Reindog is also able to gain an advantage from. I would say once he's in a better spot, LeBron James was probably going to be a little better than Batman. The reason Batman and LeBron do really well as duos with Reindog is because they like to go very aggressive. Arya too, right? But they like to be very aggressive and they like to go up to the very corner of the stage. And with that in mind, you can always pull them back when they're in those cases. And they also suffer. I'd say LeBron probably suffers the most from like having a good under recovery or recovering from bottom. Reindog's able to cover that situation for LeBron to no longer be able to struggle in those cases. I would say Jake the Dog is probably, I don't know if Jake the Dog would be B tier. He does fend for himself relatively well, but I don't think he's in a good spot right now to work very well with support. I think Jake the Dog actually does best with bruisers. So I'm not going to put him anything higher than B for now, simply because he himself works best with bruisers, not necessarily with supports. I would say Harley Quinn, kind of the same as Arya. They're interchangeable, even. They kind of just play their own game. They go out and about, and you can pull them in and help them out. But in the teammate aspect, as to who you best want to play with you as a teammate, probably one of the weaker ones, simply because you generally want to play with someone that's tankier, or that's going to be able to do a lot more. Tom and Jerry is the least character that I've played with when I've played with Reindog. But if we were to base this off of concept of, so let's say, Tom and Jerry being a ranged character, I would say he does all right. Interchangeable also with Bugs Bunny, simply because Reindog is okay to have another caster beside him because you're casting so quickly, unlike Velma, who requires a little bit of delay when she's casting because she has a cooldown on her fastest abilities or autos. Best case scenario is that you're playing a lot of abilities, a lot of actives when you're using Bugs Bunny and Tom and Jerry next to Reindog, and you're honestly going to be in a good spot. Those are the things that I wanted to mention for Reindog, who's the best for Reindog and who works best with Reindog. As Reindog, you're naturally going to be doing a ton of DPS, but you're going to have very little kill options, and you want to always combo yourself with someone that's really good at setting themselves up for kill opportunities or being able themselves to kill without necessarily requiring to do that much damage. And that's why a lot of these characters benefit from that. And that's why there's so many A tiers with Reindog, because I think he works so well with so many characters. And Jake being the only one that I feel like doesn't work as good with him, simply because Jake himself works best with bruisers in that sense. Other than that, that is it, and that is my Reindog teammate tier list.